I've been meaning to ask you, I've been reading a really interesting book recently that's basically grounded in Adlerian psychology.
Yeah?
I wasn't familiar with Adlerian psychology.
Yeah, Adler's very practical.
The book talks about Adler as a counterpoint to Freud and Jung.
What's the book?
The book is called The Courage to be Disliked. And I highly recommend it to everybody. It was actually written by a Japanese author. I think there are two Japanese authors. It didn't get quite so popular in this country, but it had a big following in Japan and I think in other places in Asia. And the book is set up as a conversation between essentially a philosopher of Adlerian psychology and a student who's challenging him. So it's a conversation that raises all the challenges that would come to one's mind if you were to be presented with this idea of life tasks, and that we're supposed to discard with our thoughts about prior trauma and just figure out what are our tasks now.
Right.
And I like the practicality of it.
Adler's very practical.
Yeah, I like that. I was
Adler
just curious what your thoughts were about that. It seems to fit quite well with your notions and what you've talked about in multiple books, including the most recent one, the one that's out now, about getting really serious about what your tasks are at this moment in time and embracing those tasks as a way to progress forward.
Yes.
As opposed to floundering in notions about the past. And I think
Yes.
it might hit some people square upside the head when there's, I think one of the chapters opens with the words, "There's no such thing as trauma," which is clearly not true. But the whole idea is to prompt a different way of thinking and to let people start to drill into, like, okay, what do I need to do now, regardless of what my parents did or didn't do?
Regardless of my damaged self.
Right, regardless of my damaged self. And I must say, I really like the book.
Well, I would say,
I should say I really like the concept of embracing task while agonizing over the meaning of life and what one is to do.
yes, well,
Yeah.
Adler was the most practical of the small crowd that aggregated around Freud. And so Jung's take was that Freud focused on sex and Adler focused on power and Jung focused on what transcended both. And I think that's right. Now, Adler is a good riposte to Freud in exactly the way you described. If you like that book and you're interested in all three of them, let's say, there's a great book called Discovery of the Unconscious, which was written by a man named Henri Ellenberger, who was the foremost exponent of existential psychology in the 1950s. Brilliant scholar. And it is the best analysis of Freud, Jung, and Adler that's ever been written by a lot. And it's a truly great book.